Hello, my name's Nigel Ivey. I'm an elopement videographer based in Ireland, and I live in Northern Ireland, just outside of Belfast. This channel is for couples that are eloping, that are looking for advice, tips, tricks, how-tos. My hope is that this channel is useful for couples that are in that position of planning an elopement, and that you find something that's valuable and helpful as you go through that process of planning that dream elopement. So in this video, I just want to give a bit of an update into the current situation with COVID-19 and how that affects eloping in Ireland. And I'm getting a few questions along the lines of, can I elope in Ireland this fall or this winter or beginning of next year? What does that look like? What are the regulations? Can you give us an update type thing? So that's basically what this video is. So if you're thinking of eloping in Ireland and you've thought about doing it this fall or this winter, then keep watching and hopefully this is useful for you. As things stand right now, if you are traveling in from the US and from quite a few different countries, essentially anywhere that's not Europe, you are required to quarantine when you arrive, both in the Republic of Ireland and in the UK. And so neither of those places are regulating that officially, in the sense of you get escorted to a hotel or anything like that. So basically the governments here are giving you, the tourist, the responsibility to make sure that you are responsible and that you follow the rules essentially, and that you don't spread the virus through the population here. And so what that looks like is that when you arrive, you need to declare where you're going to be staying, and basically you need to stay at that location for 14 days when you arrive. I'm recording this video at the beginning of August, so it's the 5th of August now, 2020. And things are changing really fast, so that's why I'm giving you the date so you can have a reference. But if you're planning to elope, I would encourage you to check what the regulations are in terms of quarantining, because really that's kind of the showstopper now for couples, in that most couples look at it and are like, well, to be honest, I don't want to just rock up there and have to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks, because realistically that's not great, it's expensive, and it's not a great way to start your trip, and most people can't afford to take 3 weeks off their job or out of their lives or whatever the case is, because really you'd want to be there for, you'd have to quarantine for 2 weeks, and then if you had like a week to elope and explore and kind of have your holiday, then that's already 3 weeks that you are dedicating to it. So just keep that in mind. In terms of the rest of the elopement, everything else associated with the elopement is actually opening up really well. Pretty much all vendors are back to business now. Hair, makeup, all that stuff is all back to business. Florists, photographers, videographers. In terms of the regulations around an actual wedding, so it differs between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, but for the most part there's not a lot of regulation in terms of an outdoor ceremony wedding that would affect an elopement. So really the regulations on numbers and how many people you can have at your ceremony doesn't really affect elopements, both in the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. And then lastly, how does it affect in terms of places to stay, hotels, restaurants, tourist attractions, all of those sort of different things? And for the most part, both in the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, most of those things are opening up fairly well. Obviously with the different restrictions that are changing every few weeks and as things progress and unlock and open up and all that sort of stuff. But for the most part, pubs are open, restaurants are open, hotels are open, tourist attractions, all those sort of things. Most of them will have some limited capacity, probably just so that they can social distance. And put it this way, it's not closed as in you can't do it, but there's way more planning and administration and process around it, really just to be able to capture people's details and make sure that they're following the guidelines and the restrictions that are in place. So in terms of what that would look like if you were staying here and visiting, you could still go to the restaurant and to pubs and things like that and tourist attractions, but you'll be giving your contact details and where you're staying in case anything happens or cases come up and they need to get hold of you, all that sort of stuff. And also you may not just be able to walk down a high street and pick a restaurant and go in. You may need to book in advance or book online or something like that. So there's just a bit more process around that. So I guess to summarize, things are opening up and it is possible to elope here still. Right now you could get on a plane and come over here and quarantine and elope But certainly one thing I would say is I would encourage you to start, if you are thinking of eloping an island, I would encourage you to start that process and talk to vendors and start that ball rolling of booking vendors and getting things going, because now is a really good time. Most vendors have been out of work for a few months now, so they'll probably be giving good deals on their bookings and things like that. So I would definitely encourage you to start talking to people, start planning your elopement, because things are going to open up, and I suspect that elopements will become more and more popular as big indoor weddings are restricted for longer periods of time. So I hope this video has been helpful, and if it has, then I encourage you to have a look through some of my other videos on this channel. I've got a bunch of resources that are intended to help couples along the journey of planning your elopement. And if you have any questions for me, then please feel free to reach out, drop a comment down below on this video, or send me a direct message on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you, even if it's just asking me some advice on eloping in Ireland and what you should do if you have any questions around eloping. And obviously if you're interested in talking to me about planning an elopement with you, I would love that too. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.